Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Power Up Mushroom. Just wanted to talk about Halo Reach because now it's been quite a while. Actually, me and my friend we were talking about this. It's been 6 years already, and wow, it's one of those things. I can't believe it's been that long. But I just kind of want to talk about back in the day. When Halo was announced, what it was like, what we saw. Things that happened during the Halo Reach time, and it was really, really cool because we had never gotten a Halo game like this, let alone like we heard that this was Bungie's last Halo. And, I just kind of want to take a look back. Why not? I just woke up one day, or actually, it was last night I was trying to film this, and lighting was terrible. I need to set up I need to really clean up my room now. We could set up a camera better and maybe like a table because you can barely see anything. But anyways, this is the Halo Legendary Edition. This one is, it came with the box, the notebook, the steel bookcase kind of. And for people who played who got, you know what, I can't even pull it up. For people who got the Halo Reach Legendary Edition, we were treated with a black box. So that's how you know if it came from like a Legendary collector's edition. It's a black box. That's what we got with Halo Reach. I've actually bought multiple Halo Reaches because I played that game that much that's really messed up my disc. And wow, But anyways, and here's that little steel bookcase. It kind of slides right on there. But anyways, let's go into Halo Reach. So first off, I'm gonna start off with the beta. Yeah, we're going way back. This was in May, or yeah, it was like May of 2010, I think, is when the game released our first beta. And there was a lot of things going with the beta. I was really excited for a Halo game that was going to be this big. And like during this time, I was in school, in high school, and I remember me and my friends, when the beta came out, that's all we would play. We would talk about it, and it was super exciting to be a Halo fan because we knew that this game was going to be huge, and it was the first time you could play Spartans. And when the beta came out, you needed ODST. Good for us, we had already bought ODST, and we really enjoyed the game. Other than compared to like what other people set it out to be, I've talked to my friends. We really think that ODST is like one of the better Halo games in a different Halo way. I don't know, it's weird. We would like a sequel, by the way. But anyways, so yeah, the beta came out and it came with 3 maps. I remember it was Powerhouse, Sword Base, and no, 4. Big team battle was Boneyard, and the 3rd map, it never made it into the final cut of Halo. It was in the campaign. It was called, oh my goodness, I think it was called Overlook. And it was the map didn't make it into the final cut of Halo. It ended up being a firefight map, I think. But I think that's it. But it was a really cool map. I don't know why they took it out. But anyways, when we first started playing, I remember like one of the first matches we had. It was on that map, Overlook, and it had these new weapons we were using. We had was that plasma repeater. We had, oh man, there was a lot of stuff. And when the energy sword came out, like again, this was a beta, so there was a lot of little, like, the textures weren't finished yet. You could really tell this is a beta. This is really when a beta was meant to be a beta, you know. And recent betas I've played, there really hasn't been much changes, not as much as Halo Reach's beta. Like for instance, some of the changes were I know the energy sword, when it would pop out, like it would kind of go a little round or slowly go up sometimes. And like I said, it looked really gooey. That's the way the energy sword looked. The plasma repeater, I remember it didn't have the textures that it used to have. Yeah, I remember the textures. There was some stuff that I couldn't forget because that's how much I played. And but I remember when the opening cinematic, or like not the cinematic, but the title screen for the Halo Reach beta, you can still look on it. If you have the Halo Reach beta still installed, which I do and me and my friends do, we have it installed out of respect. So, but yeah, if you look at the beta and when you open the title screen, you hear this music, and sometimes it would go really quiet and you just hear gunshots. And for a Halo game, that was kind of like, like we expect to hear like the regular theme or whatever, but then you have this picture of an elite like just about to stab the Spartan's face, and they have it in the Halo Reach launch game. But when the beta came out, and we saw that, it was just kind of like we knew this was going to be a dark story, maybe something a little more, a little more gruesome or really dark. It's going to take a dark turn. But when we saw it, man, the hype just got better. And when we started playing, like I said, we started playing the game. It was Powerhouse, and then finally I went on to the next map. It was Sword Base. I remember it was like midnight. I'll never forget that. I was playing with my friend Piero and my friend Ryan, and I remember like the game was just so awesome. We just kept on playing, and then at the end of the game, we didn't know how this was gonna work. We really saw, what they were releasing on Halo Waypoint, like the customizations, but we didn't know it was gonna go more in depth with like the little parts of the helmet that you could customize, and it was just really cool. I remember the end of our first match. It's like, you earn the credits and you see the little bar go up. Let me just say, the leveling system for Halo Reach has to be one of the best leveling systems for a Halo game I've ever seen. Like that, I mean, a leveling system like that was just fantastic, and it felt really rewarding when you were leveling up, and when you finally saved up enough credits and just to get that one armor piece that you wanted. It was just really well, and the armors in this game was really well developed, and it's something that in the newer Halo games, I always find myself changing armor all the time. It's ridiculous. In Halo Reach, it's like each person had their own Spartan and their own look. No other Spartan really, with the limited amount of, there wasn't really, at that time, it was really expansive compared to Halo 3, but no one really had the same Spartan. Everyone had their own Spartan with their own colors, their own emblems, and it was just fantastic. Because we stayed with the same Spartans for, I'm not kidding, I stayed with my same Spartan for my entire playthrough of Halo. When I got the armor that I wanted, I stayed with that. My friend Piero, when he got his armor, he stayed with his armor. My friend Ryan, he stayed with his armor. And we started a clan in that game, and it was just, wow, it was great. Also, one thing that I remember griping, like, one of my biggest gripes with the game was that there was still no, like, dual wielding was completely taken out of Halo. That's when we realized, like, okay, dual wielding is gone. And I was thinking, since you'd play as an elite, and especially in a time with Halo Reach, I would expect like some dual wielding plasma rifles. It'd be cool to dual wield swords, but that wasn't in the game. And I remember going in, and we hadn't seen armor abilities yet. Despite all the videos being released, we had heard that they were taking out equipment from Halo 3, and armor abilities was coming out, and we had no idea what was going to happen. So when we started playing the game and there was armor abilities, so finally sprinting in Halo was wow. But I wasn't really a sprinting guy. I was the one, I used a jetpack and invisibility. Other friends, they used things like armor lock, which at the time, when the beta was out, armor lock really wasn't a big deal. Like, no one really complained about it because people used it in the right situations. This was before it started becoming all spammy and they had to nerf it. So really, I didn't have no gripes or anything about armor lock. So yeah, one of the bigger let's see, I have stuff written down because I don't want to miss anything. One of the bigger things that when it was introduced was Headhunter. I remember Headhunter, it was, to me it was like, wow, taking skulls of other people. I love that concept. And then like, transferring to a little place of, what do you call it? Like, like those little waypoints. That was awesome. I really liked that game mode. It was really fun, really team oriented, and it was just fantastic. Basically, the more people you kill, each person drops a skull, and you carry a skull. You can carry up to like 10 skulls, and the amount of skulls you carry, you can build them up and then cash them in for major points. But if you're killed, all those skulls drop, and you lose all the skulls. Like, they're scattered on the floor, and anyone can pick them up, or you rush to pick them up, or if someone picks them up, go and kill that person. He drops all the skulls, and vice versa. It keeps on going. and you take them to the waypoint and you cash them in for points. Anyways, ah man, sorry, I just woke up. But yeah, so it was really cool. One mode that never made it to the game was called Generator Defense. It ended up being implemented, I think, in I think it was Invasion. But Generator Defense was pretty cool. Basically, you had a team of I think it was a team battle, so it was like 5-on-5 or 6-on-6. It was one of those. But I remember there would be 3 generators you'd have to defend, and the elites would you know, they would come in and they would have to. They were the players were the elites, and they would try to attack the generators. You guys to defend them. It's that type of stuff. That was pretty cool. Let's see. Shouldn't be sitting like this. Okay, so yeah, generator. I mean, really, that's the only other thing. But this is a major game type that, like, sorry, I'm sitting down. That really got to me, and like to me, it was just like, wow, this could be like open up a whole new possibility for Halo Reach. Was Invasion. When Invasion happened, it was kind of like, okay, so first off, I'd never you know what? Water. I need water. Man. When Invasion happened, we had never seen Invasion like it. Like, in my mind, Invasion was the perfect game type. It still is to this day. Because I remember always dreaming of a, like, we would talk about, trust me, when the Halos would come out, like, me and my friends, we'd talk about new game types they should add, or what we would think would be cool if we were developing it. And one of the game types I remember me and my friends would talk about it, we came up with it like out of nowhere, was what if we had one side elites and one side humans, and the elites had to push forward and the elites had to attack the humans, kind of, you know, that way it's the human versus the covenant, and you get to put yourself in like these elite shoes and stuff. And I remember we would talk about this, and for a game type that you think up and that no one's thought about, and then for it to be put in the game time, I'm pretty sure other people thought about it too, but in your small group, that we thought about Invasion before it actually happened, it was just awesome. And then music in Halo, because when you progress further, there'd be like little music things or whatever. I just gotta say, my leg is falling asleep, and God, yeah, I get my tripod and I sit on the floor, right? When Invasion, it comes out, and there's music in Halo, it really, that blew my mind. I've never heard music in real time for Halo in a multiplayer game. So for me, I think I was freaking out about everything, alright? So alright, hopefully this lasts for a little bit longer. So yeah, that was awesome. And then finally comes to the last day of the Halo Reach beta, and I'm not gonna lie, I stayed on that beta longer than we were supposed to. Like, I left my Xbox on. I heard about that guy who played Halo 2, and he left his Xbox on. And I remember I was in those last matches of Halo Reach when it was ending, the Halo Reach beta, by the way. And it was just wow. I remember playing with people. Out of all my friends, they had to go to sleep. They did go like 2 hours in afterwards, but I left my Xbox on and I tied a rubber band around the controller, and he would walk around. And I remember lasting in the beta for quite a while. And then our power went out, so that sucks. But I remember playing with the guys on Halo Reach, other people. We all added each other, and eventually we created a clan for Halo. That's what happened. And so, after the beta ends, of course, there's like I said, the issues with the sword. I'm yawning too much, and it's because my leg's falling asleep. There's those issues with the sword. Like I said, little texture issues. No real big thing, really. But really, after playing the beta, I really couldn't get enough of Halo. Halo Reach was just awesome, and I remember it was coming to September. I think it was September. And of course it was Halo, so I had to pre-order the Legacy Edition, which, let me say, the best purchase I've ever made. And I remember going at midnight, but I live in Vegas, and so there was things going on for Halo like on the strip. I'm talking like people playing Halo on the strip. There was game places opening up, arcades, and the strip was kind of throwing a party. I remember Halo Reach was all over the news, and I remember getting on Xbox after I came home from school, and I had friends in like the UK and all that. They were already playing Halo Reach, or I don't like, or people in New York. They were playing Halo Reach like a few hours ahead of me. Man, I was so jealous. And this is back before GameStop released games at 9 o'clock. This is when they would do them at exact midnight. So yeah, I was waiting in line at midnight, and people were, there was barbecues. There was, wow. And I remember my friend Alex. I told him like, dude, you gotta get over here. You gotta get Halo Reach, because he had pre-ordered it too, but he didn't. I guess he didn't have the money for it yet. And so he did. But he came with me, and we picked up Halo the Legendary Edition, and I mean, it was a huge box, and I was so excited because I'd never gotten a collector's edition like this, So, anyways, I get home and I open up the box. Of course, I set up the statue. I'm all excited. And then I get this thing, and let me just say my jaw kind of dropped. I can't take this out. I don't think so. Oh, here's one thing. One thing I've never opened from the collector's edition was this little booklet. I've always thought of getting an extra collector's edition and then opening it, but I've never ever seen what's inside. I know it's a book. It's a book of like the Spartans from Dr. Halsey, like all their studies and all that. But I've never opened it, and I always thought it was just so bizarre, maybe one day, but, and then I remember opening it, and I was, like I said, I was excited. I put the statue together, and then I saw a game case. And look, I'm gonna show you. This is my original copy for Halo, and I'm gonna show you the damage I've done to it because of how much I played it. So this is the game. I remember looking at the black case, and I'm just like, what? I've never seen a case like that. And then here's my original Halo Reach game. It's still playable, but it's in terrible condition because that's how much I played it. Here. I don't know if you can see, but there's like little cracks around the ring and all that. And yeah, that's how much we played Halo Reach. And then here's Xbox was, they were still releasing kind of small little manuals for their games, and here are the codes. This is back when Xbox Live, that's what their logo looked like. Yeah, we still had that old screenshot and all that. There are the codes. The codes aren't really gonna matter because I already used them, and but yeah, it was just wow, And I remember because I got the Legendary Edition, I got a special flame helmet that no one else got. So unless you get the Collector's Edition or Legendary Edition from like Amazon or something with the code still intact, you're not going to get that flame helmet. And I remember downloading all that stuff. And the first thing I did, I started a campaign. Because really, I was the only person... Sadly, I was only one who went to midnight launch for Halo Reach. That was one of my friends, except for my friend Alex, but he didn't get it. So I was the only person or kid who, teenager, that went and got in Halo Reach at midnight. And I remember I had school the next day, and to me it didn't matter. I was up to like 4 in the morning playing Halo Reach. I played the campaign. And out of tradition, I always play the Halo campaigns on Legendary, starting right off the bat. I've never played them in any other difficulty, except for like achievements in the Master Chief Collection for like heroic achievements or something, or beating part-time on like certain levels. But yeah, but out of tradition, I played Halo Reach strictly Legendary all the time. And I remember when the opening cinematic came, it was just wow. Like, I was so excited for Halo Reach. It was crazy. And I remember back in the day, Halo or Bungie used to put up how many people were playing online. At that exact time when I got home and I was playing, we were hitting about 1 million players 1 million players, and only the game could only grow so much. You know, there was going to be a high number, and I remember the numbers strictly because to me it was just wow, this many people are playing Halo, and Black Ops was coming out, but I remember people talking about like no, Halo Reach is looking better than Black Ops, and in my opinion, I do think it was a bit better because Modern Warfare 2 was already out for a year, I think, and you know, I mean, people wanted something new, and I remember Halo Reach was looking way better and it was appealing. It looked more darker, not as colorful as you know it used to. You know, it was more gray and real gritty. And when like I said, a million people were online. So, but I started playing the campaign, and I started playing with other friends of mine that, you know, in other states or you know the ones that already had Halo Reach. I started playing with them. I was doing the campaign all night, and I remember I didn't beat the campaign in one night, in one sitting. No, Halo Reach Legendary was so hard. Like especially fighting white elites, they were so hard to take down. It was just like a new difficulty had open up. This was like Dark Souls. Eventually, yeah, it got easy because I played it so much, and I know what to do now, so it's like super easy. But back in the day, Legendary on Halo Reach, all of us could agree that it was like Dark Souls for Halo. It was ridiculous, especially the white elites and those little hidden golden elites that you had to find. Oh man, and yeah, I would go on Halo Waypoint, read all the audio logs. You know, I was so into this game, and I remember right before I went to sleep, like it was like 4 or 5 in the morning, because I had to get up for school like around an hour later. I remember playing one match of Halo, and playing the multiplayer was just wow, you know. And you know, we were like I said, we were just barely hitting a million or a million people online, and I didn't expect for it to grow any further. So that later that day when I got home from school, that number had jumped to 6 million. 6 million people playing Halo Reach. I'm okay, you know, and the numbers only kept on rising. They never dropped for I think like 2 weeks. Halo Reach was like, I remember the highest it hit was 14,500,000 something thousand. It was right there. It was like right in the middle. It was like that or a little higher, 600,000. 14,600,000. But I remember it hit 14 million. And in 24 hours, people were already talking about like it was already 2,300 years, 2,300 years in like man years that people had played in the first 24 hours of Halo. And that was wow. And my friends got it, and this is when we started playing games. We started playing all night. We started playing. This is all we would play for the next 3 or 4 years. We played Halo Reach a lot. Well, actually, for them it was more like 2 years. No, it was 4 years. It was 4 years, and we created a clan. And let me see. Yeah. So we had created a clan, and we started creating all these custom games. Let me say, when we were introduced to Forge, really opened up like a whole new place for us because we created our own game types. We were creating maps with stories. I'm telling you, if I go back on that hard drive, which I'm gonna get a new Xbox and transfer everything, but all the maps on there, I still have all the old maps that we made. Some maps actually made it pretty big in the Halo community where people would play our maps, and it was awesome. That's how invested we were, and our clan started getting really big. There would be maps like Batman. Basically, one person was like, you know, a little overpowered, and he'd have all these gadgets, and we were kind of like the, you know, whoever were the bad guys. You know, they would try to kill Batman in like these Hornets. No, Falcons. My bad. They were Falcons. And you know, it was really cool because we created all these weird ramps, the Dark Knight, you know, kind of ramps that were coming out. On it was awesome. And then another thing was the assassinations. This was in the beta actually, but the assassinations were a little, you know, little choppy a little bit. I mean, they weren't really that well, but they added more assassinations. And wow, when we saw assassinations for the first time, it was just like a new staple to the Halo franchise. So like I said, we were getting, it was really hype that built up, and it lived up to the hype. And then something came out, you know, they would have daily challenges, and to earn you more credits, and you start earning more credits, and to get helmets that were redesigned, like the EOD helmet, the Scouter helmets, like all those helmets that were redesigned, they did them perfectly. And you could see like all the battle damage on your Spartan's armor. It was just fantastic. And I remember playing the campaign with some friends because we ended up doing a legendary run through, and it was just awesome, you know, because you played with friends and then finally have that last moment in Halo Reach. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's a moment in Halo Reach like after the credits, because we beat it on legendary, because you know there's a secret ending. Um, there's an extra level, and I remember playing with my friends, and we lasted for a long time. We didn't want the game to end, and eventually it did. And it was such a sad ending, you know. It was messed up. Um, and then again back to like, you know, the clan. We had clans, and we'd get together like almost every day. We'd play Halo nonstop, and we would create games like Toilet from Halo 3. You know, we'd reimagine these game types and we'd create them. There were some times where there's a map I have on there that we spent. I have the hour count was 48 out. No, it wasn't 48. It was like 38 hours, almost 2 days, like straight. That's all we did, and we were forging on this one map. And really, it was to create the perfect Halo map, and which I think we did. We created a bunch of these, and I had 9 people working on it, and I do have credit to all the people who worked on it on the little description. And let me just say, it's one of those masterpieces that maybe like one day I'll go and recreate on Halo 5. But yeah, it was just fantastic. And there were other game types we created like Star Wars. Star Wars was, ah man, was kind of like you had 2 platforms and you had lasers and you shoot lasers, but the you would get like 2 hits and you die. It was like stuff like that, you know, and only energy swords too, for stuff like that, or only assassination game types. Um, there was also another game. People probably remember this going around. Speed Halo, where you'd get on the little warthogs and you go straight down the ramp, and you just go faster and faster, and people at the bottom would have gravity hammers and they try to hit you. You know, the little infected people. And oh man, there was just so much in Halo Reach that was just wow. And then the media, I remember the news coverage. They were covering Halo Reach like for the next 5 days or next week that Halo Reach was announced. People were just. I remember news anchors just covering Halo Reach, and people were killing people and for Halo Reach, or like people robbing people for Halo Reach. It was just wow. Like I hadn't seen that in like I don't think I'd ever seen something like that. You know, I've only heard stories of like things happen like that before, but never seen it. And you know, it was just crazy. Like people were getting mad because Halo Reach did sell out. There was shortages of Halo Reach going around, and you know, this is a time before GameStop stocked up like professionally. But people, yeah, if you didn't pre-order Halo Reach, I'm sorry, you're not gonna have Halo Reach for the longest time because there were limited quantities of Halo Reach going around. I mean, it wasn't limited, but basically, if you didn't pre-order it, you're gonna have a hard time finding it. Basically, like the Nintendo Wii. Um, but yeah, that was fantastic, and I remember the map packs coming out and people staying up till midnight for the map packs, and it was just, it, I stayed up for at the night for map packs. I remember map packs coming out, and me and my friends we would all stay up, and there were times where we straight up like we would go to school like half asleep, or we would just miss school in general just for Halo, you know, to play some Halo Reach. And really, that was like the last good or Halo game. I mean, it wasn't the last good one. I mean, 4 was alright, was pretty good. 5 was, I don't know. That's a review for another day. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to. I just kind of want to talk about Halo Reach and the memories I've had with this game. It's been pretty cool. And you know, now looking back, that was 6 years ago. I have friends that are married now, and you know, I mean, I'm the last person playing Halo Reach out of my friends. So, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you stuck around this long and heard me like ramble on, that's pretty awesome of you guys. And you know, thanks for watching my videos. This is the Power Up Mushroom, and until next time, you know, see you later.